What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. You know what I find funny about these diaspora wars, all right, which I've been boycotting from the very beginning, by the way. And many intelligent black people have been boycotting, by the way. My intelligent Nigerians, Ghanaians, Ethiopians, African Americans, Jamaicans, Haitians, we've been boycotting this, right? While also fighting against the lower elements of our respective communities who want to participate because they have nothing else to do, right? And because they suffer from lack of education, right? Which, is understandable, right? Everybody's not educated. We're coming out of, coming out of an era, all right? And the stitching together of information that we all need to move forward, right, is a rough process, right? But I want you to peep this. Every one of our ethnic groups, right, we're all prideful black people, right? And we've been separated and miseducated and de-educated by the oppressor, the colonizer, which is the same person, right? That European. And while we're doing that, and while we're all collectively talking shit about each other, right? Because of our egos are involved, because us African people, we are very prideful, very, very prideful, right? Notice how we all say we want to delineate, but not near one of us are actually doing it. Because we cannot live without each other. We can't stop talking to each other. We find reasons to get in the same panels, to get on the same lives, to talk about each other, to explore each other. We can't help it, right? None of these FBA, right, which represent the lower vibrational, lower denominational of African Americans, none of us, right? None of them, sorry, I'm not FBA, I'm an African American. None of them can stay away. All their content is Africa this. They can't keep their eyes off Africa. They can't keep their eyes off this. As much as they say they don't want to be involved, don't want to be a part, they can't stay away. They're going to find a way to bring up an African. They're going to find a way to be in the African space. They're going to find a way to be around Pan-Africans, even if they pretend like they disagree. In their mind, they're exploring like, they want something to agree with, but their egos say that they got to fight against it, right? Same with the South Africans, right? South Africans, let me tell you something. When I see a South African and y'all play y'all music and y'all sing and y'all protest, all I see is myself. All I see is African Americans in Africa. That's all I see, right? Y'all some of the most pro-black, to be honest, pro-black, black power spiritual group of people, even though y'all have elements among your community that are very xenophobic to other Africans. But I see that spirit in y'all. Nigerians, y'all Nigerians are the most egotistical Africans on the planet. Good God, I see where African Americans get it from. I see where African Americans get it from. We most definitely get it from you guys. You guys can walk around with your classism and your pompous attitudes, right? But at the same time, y'all can't keep your eyes off them African Americans because there's something about them damn African Americans that you just got to compete with. It aggravates you. It aggravates you because you guys want to be number one, right? Just like African Americans want to be number one. It's the ego thing, right? But y'all can't keep y'all eyes off of us. Y'all culture, and I can see it, Nigeria. The new culture. Because remember, culture is something ever changing, and the Nigerian culture that's emerging out of the flames of neocolonialism emulates African American culture. I see it. I'm witnessing it. You guys are embracing it, right? And it's like African Americans. For all the shit we be talking, we be African as shit. With our African hoop earrings our women wear. With the African continent hoop earrings our African American women's like to wear. With our African shirts and our darsikis and shit. With our black power, they ain't nothing but African power. Like if you really pay attention in the chaos of the African diaspora wars, it ain't nothing but Africans hurting each other's feelings because we keep telling each other we can't be a part of each other's groups, right? So when an African American tries to change their name, right, Africans get offended because like, what you mean you not African? What you mean, right? When continental Africans complain about being rejected and talking shit, getting talked shit about by Caribbeans and Africans, is really African Americans getting mad and say, what you mean I'm not African? What you mean you better than me? What you mean you're not one of us? Everybody's mad because they looking at the other groups and saying, why, what you mean you're not one of us? We're all collectively offended that we're looking at the other Africans saying that they're not one of us. Because deep down inside, we want to be connected with each other. All the grievances that we have as Africans on this planet, we're all arguing that the other African don't want to be like us, or the other African don't accept us, or the other African don't see themselves as us. Just listen to the rhetoric. And that's why I kind of find it funny and hilarious all at the same time, because this is what unity looks like. I don't know what people thought unity looked like or unifying looked like. I don't know what people thought it was going to look like, but this is what it looked like. Us cussing, fighting each other, us getting in arguments with each other. And in the mix of that, you're going to have your grifters that take advantage of that, right? And they're going to make their money. They're going to exacerbate the differences that we have between each other. They're going to capitalize on the ignorance that was perpetrated, right, by that white man, the ignorance that was taught to us, the ignorance that we all hold in our head, the white worship some of us hold in our head, right? And this goes for the Africans on the continent, because Africans on the continent also fight amongst themselves, right? Right? Different tribes fight amongst themselves. African Americans are participating in African tribalism, right? On the nation, on an international scale, while also participating in tribalism on the national scale. We still got gangs that wear colors, that fight over colors. We still got gangs, right? African Americans fighting other African Americans because of which state they come from, because of which street they come from, because of what block they were born in. Like they could help that shit, right? We still got internal ethnic tension between ourselves as African Americans, and we still participate in the same tribalism that we accuse Africans of perpetuating on the continent. We're doing the same shit. FBA ain't nothing but a bunch of African Americans practicing xenophobia, which is a form of tribalism. We all want to click up with our brothers and sisters to our left and right and to get an opponent to fight because it's exciting, it's something exhilarating about it, right? That's just natural human behavior, right? But at the same time, we cannot stay away from each other. And one thing we do is when white folks try to engage, we all collectively snap on them. You see, we be fighting each other. As soon as a white person tries to openly participate in the diaspora wars to pick a side, we all collectively snap on them. We be like, excuse me, we're not talking to you. Stay out of our shit. Let us fight each other together, right? And I'm telling you, in the long run, all of us are going to be, our children are going to be better for this. Our children are going to look at us as fools and idiots for fighting each other. But it's a necessary step, because while we are fighting each other, for every argument that's happening on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, there are people that's figuring it out. Through the argument, they're like, hold up, you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe I've been doing a little bit too much, And then you notice most of us can't even figure out. I get called a tether all the time because most of these Africans, these FBAs, right, who engage with me in discourse, they think I'm just an African. That goes to show you right there. They don't know. I'm an African American. Right? But they don't know that because they can't visually see it, because at the end of the day, we are all looking the same. We all look the same, right? And because we've been given this damn English language, right? And because if you move to a place, your dialect can change. There are many African Americans, right, who can't tell who's an African American. And that does scare some people who find that to be a conflict, right? They don't want their history to be lost. They don't want to be replaced, right? Which is a reasonable gripe, right? But I as an African American, I 100% guarantee you the African Americans will never be forgotten. We are the most popular, most influential group of Africans on the planet. Number two are Nigerians. They are becoming very popular and influential on the planet. And that makes sense because African Americans are mostly Nigerians. So it would not be out of the realms of possibilities that if we got that juice to make that kind of influence on the world, Nigerians will also have that juice. Seeing an African American, with my analogy, is like going to Costco's and going down the aisle and getting a free sample of something that's very tasty. When you go to Nigeria, it's like going down the aisle and finding the box from that sample that you got. and getting the whole thing. That's what it is. It's the truth. We African Americans are a sample of what African has to offer to the world, right? And that sample is delicious, and everybody loves it, right? And it's okay to be a sample, right? Because you're in the front lines representing everybody, all right? And that's what we are as African Americans. African Americans are a physical manifestation of Pan-Africanism because we are a manifestation of all those tribes and ethnic groups that had issues with each other. And because they had issues with each other, some of them were taken to the New World because a white person came and took advantage of those issues. And we lost our languages, but we got that English language and we created something for ourselves. We are African American is a Pan-African by its physical manifestation, and history says so, right? And now we have the rest of the continent who, in the age of information, are getting themselves together, right? And they're realizing these to be true. They're realizing it to be a fact, right? And so there's no such thing as stealing each other's culture. Our cultures are together. As an African American, I can't steal an African's culture. As an African, they can't steal my culture. As an African American, I can't steal Caribbean's culture. Caribbeans can't steal African American. None of us can steal it. We are it. We are the culture. All of us collectively, right? So yeah, I've been boycotting these stupid diaspora wars, right? I only fight the ignorance amongst my community. I just fight against ignorance. I don't fight against my people. I don't fight against Africans. I don't fight against Caribbeans. I don't fight against the Africans and Caribbeans who live in Britain. I fight against the ignorance. That's it, and that's all. And there's many others who are just fighting against the ignorance. And in the age of information, as we all collectively get more intelligent, right? I believe that everything that's happening now is going to culminate into something beautiful later. I'm sure of it, right? And that's why I do what I do. And that's why many others do what they do. Because we know this is necessary. The hard conversations has to be had. We have to fight. We got to scrap it out. But after we fight, we gain respect and knowledge and understanding of each other. And then, once we unify and come together, we can go ahead and fight that enemy. Because together, there's no group of people on this planet that can dominate us, that can control us, that can do anything better than us. We are it. We are the future. You understand? So we got to get ourselves together and understand that we got to get our children prepared to take over this world. Because they are going to be the ones that take us to the stars and beyond. And that's the truth. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comment section. Just Afro Think Tank or something. Teach something. I'm out.
I just want to put this out there, and this is for all the ethnicities, communities, whoever is non-black, yeah? When black people are speaking, shut the fuck up. Because I had a live today and bare people were infiltrating. Oh, Elaine, are you still doing this? Oh, Elaine, well, you preach this. Excuse me, black people are talking. And if you're an ally, come in, sit down and shut the fuck up. You're too busy seeking my validation. Stop trying to change how I think. Stop trying to change my message. I really don't give a fuck about your opinion. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to my people, them, who are black. You are not the center of the motherfucking universe, bitch. And what you're doing, you're in black people's business when you should be over there in your own community's business. Come out of ours. It's 2026. Stop watching what black people are doing and go find some business that fucking pays you. Scratch that, because we know that you culture vulturing this bitch, so black people's business does pay you. But let me make myself crystal clear to you. You will never get my validation. You will never change my thinking. And you will never get me to put your motherfucking feelings above black people's. Please, take off the black skin sleeves. I know it's okay to be cool to be black for a couple of hours, but when you go home, it's a different story. But please, fuck off out of our face. Shit.
I just had the genuine misfortune of coming across that Elaine the Pain video where she's like going in on Black Americans. And as a first generation Nigerian American, I have so many thoughts about non-Black American Black people and how we refuse to give Black Americans their flowers. I'll put it this way. Whenever we're talking about being, for example, a black woman in America, and then a white woman turns around and says, well, it's hard for me too. I'm a woman too. We're not talking about you. We're talking about black women. So that's this thing that happens where people just love to have oppression wars. And I feel like as immigrant black people in America, when Black Americans, or we perceive Black Americans, when they want to distinguish themselves and say they have their own culture, we get so defensive thinking that they're saying we're not Black either. Now, I don't agree with that because I'm not what? However, I do fully recognize that I am not Black American in that sense. It is different. What they went through as a people, what they continue to go through as a people, it is different. Why do I have to compete with that? Why can't I be an ally in that? And again, this is not to say that I don't have my own struggles as a Black woman in the States. It's not to say that Black people across the diaspora don't have their own issues in their whatever respective countries they're in. But if we're not talking about that right now, we're not talking about that right now. These are people that were systemically brought over here. And don't tell me slavery does not play. These are people that were systemically brought over here as slaves. And then even after they were freed, they were systemically kept in a certain class, in a certain position in society, and had to, and are still trying to, climb, claw, scream, kick, work, everything their way out. History is so undeniably different, and I don't know why we insist on arguing that fact. I don't know why we insist on me tooing the situation to death. Now, this is not to say that I agree with the Black American, like, cancel Africans, and I'm gonna like, that for me is another extreme that I don't agree with. But I look at them as outliers, just as I would hope that Black Americans look at people like this Elaine the Pain Girl as outliers, because that is what they are. I do believe the majority of us are unified. Majority of my friends are Black Americans. Like, I have maybe one or two white friends, genuinely. But my sisters, my ride or dies, the people that I come to, Black American, Kenyan American, Nigerian American, and we love each other down. And my hope and prayer is that one day, like, we can just unify. And I just don't think that's going to happen until my people, immigrants, first generation immigrants, those of us who were born and raised here, but know full well that we didn't have the same backgrounds that our Black American counterparts had, until we accept that, until we unify to raise them up, give them their flowers so then they can do the same for us, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And stop thinking you're better than somebody. Only difference between you and them is one ancestor got on a boat and the other got on a plane. Let's not act like so much of their culture doesn't influence the way we talk, the way we dress, it influences everything. Why do we argue that fact? I personally thank God for growth and deliverance, because I had to recognize my own biases. There's things I have said and done that I would be canceled from here to Timbuktu, and I thought I could say and do those things because I'm Black, not knowing that there's a difference between being Black and being Black American. There is. Just accept that, embrace that, and embrace the people that have tried to embrace us, but for some reason, the world just keeps rejecting them. Why? Black Americans, I see you, I love you, I stand with you, and hopefully others who see this message, if you've sat through this whole thing, can truly understand what I'm saying, and we go from there and just continue this conversation in a more positive way than it's been going.
And this is the only boycott I'm engaging in. This is the only boycott. Black people on all sides,
y'all better wake the fuck up.
Y'all better stop letting
the worst, lowest common denominators
create strife and drama in our community. Y'all better
double check them profiles
before you respond to them out-of-pocket ass comments, because I promise you,
it's probably a bot.
And if it's not a bot, I promise you, if you look at the person's profile, that's probably not someone you would fuck with in real life anyway. So keep it pushing.
Boycott diaspora wars.
Great comment. Wonderful, wonderful comment. If me, another Black girl, a girl from Nigeria, a girl from Ghana, a girl from Senegal, a girl from Mozambique. We all sat together and we're all walking down the street. The police officer is not going to say, "Excuse me, let me get all the Africans. You guys are free to go. You American ones, we're going to lock you up." No, they're going to lock all of our black asses up. They're going to lock all of us up. And that's the problem. You guys are creating a division amongst us when this is actually the time where we need to be united. All this ICE stuff, all this stuff going on with the orange man and all of that, we need to be united. But you guys are doing exactly what they want us to do. They want to break us up. And that's crazy.
This whole diaspora war shit is stupid. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we all sing the same song in different languages, bro. I made another video about this before, calling people out for the shit that they talk about black Americans, even though we're the reason why y'all are able to come over here. And that's true, because that shit is mad disrespectful. But also, on the other side of that, the black Americans that just endlessly talk shit about Africans or about Caribbeans or about any other black person in the diaspora, you're just as fucking stupid. The whole thing is stupid. We all are dealing with the same issue. All of us got colonized. All of us got suppressed. We're arguing in English. We're having this argument speaking the colonizer's language. That's not enough. That's not enough for you to be like, wait, something isn't right here. Nothing. The sooner we, as a collective, the entire diaspora, get it together, the better off we'll all be. I propose an idea. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me shut the fuck up if I'm wrong. But if I'm right, hear me out. Imagine we had a diaspora festival, right? Me and the homegirl was just talking about this the other day. If we had a diaspora festival, different food trucks, you got East African foods, you got West African foods, you got Black American soul foods, you got Jamaican food, you got Haitian food. I don't even know what Haitians eat, but I want to find out. I want to know what y'all be cooking on. We got different music from all these different cultures, but we're all still the same, bro. We're the most creative people on the planet. Period. Point blank. Don't give a fuck what no cracker got to say. Period. We are the most creative people on the planet. Everything came from all of us. So if we can come together in any sort of way, bro, it would be beautiful. Why are we arguing? About what? Ain't nothing to argue about. We go through the same struggle, just in different places. You might speak Xhosa. You might speak Afrikaans. You might speak you might speak Yoruba. You might speak any of the other languages of Africa, but I bet money you still speak English. So why the fuck are we arguing? Y'all my family. I'm your family. We all family. So can we just rock out like that together, please? Fuck. All the different languages that we speak as a whole, the different styles of dance, the different styles of music, the different styles of creation, we can all bring that together in one place. Imagine all that being in one place. It's just a thought. It's just a thought.
Keep your foot on their neck, always. No days off. You will not find people who are well-read and educated engaging in diaspora wars because we're too busy making sure that our foot is on the enemy's neck. Is everybody okay? The reason how they were able to take over Jamaica, Haiti, most of Africa, pillaging people, the Filipino people, all these cultures is because they tear you guys apart. And then you just go on and do it electively. Y'all are beefing over the dumbest stuff. Yo, Jamaicans, make sure the Britons pay you back. Give reparations for all the sugar and rum that they took from you. Filipino people, the way they played y'all with the war. Told y'all to make y'all citizens, give y'all benefits. You fought in the war and turned around and played you. And you died penniless. Yo, Black Americans, I ain't even got to go there. Yo, there is much shit to be doing. Jamaicans, y'all start there. Y'all go on and get y'all reparations and watch how we back y'all. We'll fly down there and back y'all, because Britain, their banks, their universities, everything they fucking got was off of your ancestors, and they took your birthright, and they come in your damn country and buy up all the shoreland, and you gotta pay to go to the beach. Yo, there is a bill that is due, and fighting each other is like the dumbest shit in the world. It makes me think that y'all don't read. It makes me think that y'all don't know what the hell going on and what's the play. The play is keep your foot on their neck, always. No days off.
This comment is the reason why us as Black Americans try not to reach out to other Black people on the other side of the world, because of your behavior towards us when we're trying to connect with our roots. Regardless of you being from Scotland, regardless of other Black people from different countries being from other places, y'all are still connected to the lineage of Black people. And it doesn't matter if we're Black Americans, we are still connected to you guys from different parts of the world as Black people. And then you use the YT colonization mindset towards the people you have the same lineage of, and use those same teachings that colonize your people against the people that are trying to connect with you from over here. While those people you're pandering to, those YT people, laughing behind your back, calling you racial slurs. And the worst part about it is that you don't see the dividable line between us being from different parts of the country, to where you don't see the fact they're playing in your face for you to act like that towards your own people.
Especially when you made a video about being pissed how Black people are mistreated, and then made this colonized one doing the same.
Don't vote for me. I don't want that vote. I don't want a xenophobic vote. I love my African people. The same way I love my mother and my grandmother. I'm in love with Africans. Africans are hated everywhere. You go to America, the black skin is a source of hatred. You go to UK, a black skin is a source of hatred. You're asking me to join in the hatred of Black people. I know what the hatred of my skin did during apartheid. Don't vote for me.
At the end of the day, here's what I've learned through all this back and forth when it comes to advocating for Africans and African culture, and holding African Americans accountable for their hating ass energy they have for African people and their culture. To reaffirm my narrative that I'm advocating for all Black people to unite globally, is that you simply cannot save somebody that doesn't want to be saved. You cannot save somebody that's too comfortable being damaged. And that's how I feel about African Americans at this point. It doesn't matter how logical you break it down for them. It doesn't matter how many times you reword it to say the exact same message, how many charts, numbers, and lived experiences you put on the table for them. Some folks are just simply beyond saving. I don't just talk to talk. I don't just argue to argue. I talk to enlighten and to teach and to wake people up. The African Americans at the forefront of this conversation don't want to learn, they don't want to be enlightened, and they for sure do not want to wake up. And that is completely and honestly fine where me and many other African Americans stand. So from here on out, I think it's best that we leave the FBAs alone and to stand alone and watch as they eat themselves alive while the rest of us come together and unite as Black people globally.
Black people around the world are the only group of people who we are scattered, renamed, divided, and then convinced that we are nothing alike. Americans, Africans, Caribbeans, Afro-Latinos. Instead of seeing ourselves as one family, we argue who is real, who is authentic, who is this or who is that. Meanwhile, the same people who colonized us in America, in the Caribbean, the same people who colonized Africa, the same people who took a piece of paper in Berlin and divided Africa in boundaries in paper and shared it among themselves. You take this one will speak Spanish, this one will speak French, this one will speak English. They created boundaries. The same people who created boundaries in Africa are the same people. And let me tell you, the biggest victory they had over us was never slavery and was never colonization, but the division they planted in our minds. Some say, hey, go back to Africa, we are not African, we are not this, we are not that, you have an accent, we are black, we are Americans, we don't care about others, and all that. I have a question and I want you to genuinely answer it. Have you ever seen a white person migrate and come to America and begin to differentiate themselves from other white Americans? Have you ever seen that? It's only Black people. Why? Because white people understand unity. White people understand identity. White people understand the power of standing together wherever they are. We are the only people who are still running and fighting with labels that do nothing for us. There are people who are making laws in America, senators, current and in the past, who came here as adults. But because they are black, because they are white, they blended. Nobody said go back to Europe. Nobody said you are not white American. Because they are white, wherever they come from, as they land here in America, they blend and become white Americans. If you don't open their mouth and tell you that they were not born here, you will not know. And nobody among them segregate them. Even you, who is segregating with your own fellow black, you also call them white Americans. That's the irony. This is one truth that we cannot run away from. Black Americans didn't choose to come to America as slaves or to the Caribbeans. The Caribbeans didn't choose a plantation. The Africans didn't choose the colonization or the boundaries. We all inherited the same pain created by the same system in different locations. Guess what? Black people everywhere, we are still fighting the same problems. Inequality, discrimination, misrepresentation, stereotyping, underrepresentation, identity confusion. This is a problem of black people everywhere. We didn't create this problem. Someone created it for us, and we are all fighting it everywhere. All of us. It's the same. So why are we fighting each other instead of coming together and uniting to find solution for our common problem? Wherever you might be, if your ancestors were renamed, if your ancestors were relocated, if your ancestors were enslaved, if your ancestors were colonized and separated, robbed of their identities, you are my person. Whether you like it or not, and whether you like me or not, you are my person. You are my sister, you are my brother. You see, unity does not mean that we will erase our differences. No. Rather, it means that we will stop weaponizing our differences against each other. Because the moment black people stop fighting against themselves, we will become unstoppable. And that is what the system is afraid of. A black people that is unstoppable, do you think the system can stand it? So the moment you are hating your fellow black or segregating yourself from your fellow black person, you are helping the system that you are also complaining against. Think about it.
Yes, this video is directly to my people from Africa, talking down on black Americans, talking trash to people who paved the way for you. Do you know how many fights do these people fought for you, just for you to be where you are today? You understand? Do you know how they marched years back just to be free? And even for us to be free. If you know that you can actually make it, why did you not stay in your homeland and make it? What is the competition all about? What is the insult all about? I can't get these things right. What is all this competition all about? Let me tell you, yes, we know that black Americans, yes, their root is from Africa, right? For those of them that will accept, their root is from Africa. But this is their land. This is where they belong. They are from America. You can't come to people's land and be competing with them. You can't come to someone's place and be fighting them. Stop saying all this trash on social media. You Africans, you are doing the most with all this, your careers and everything. Who are you feeding? Are you feeding anyone? Are you feeding any of your friends? Are you even helping these black Americans? Are you the one helping them? Are you the one taking care of their kids? Are you the one paying their mortgages? Black Americans are very intelligent people, just so you know. If you have ever been with them in class, you will know what I'm talking about. They are not loud. They are just not loud. Why are you Africans that loud when you come to the US? You become a doctor, you become a big deal. You become a lawyer, you become a problem. Do you know how many black Americans that are doctors that we don't even talk about? The noise is just too much. You guys should be calming down. Be calming down. It's no longer funny from the things we see on social media. Anyway, I really want this video to be very short. It just got me like, what should I even say? Like, it wasn't funny when I saw that video. Why is it that? Is it a competition? Do what you want to do. Go to the higher school. Who cares about your career? Who cares about your education? Who cares about it?
If someone were to ask me what culture I appreciate the most and low-key admire the most, I would say African American culture again and again and again. Especially the whole late 1900s era. Oh my god. The hoop earrings, the hip-hop, early 2000s. And a lot of people don't really talk about it or give credit where it's due, but I think African Americans, overall black culture is really the blueprint. A lot of people like to say that African Americans don't have any culture. That's a thing I'm not saying me, I don't say this, but a lot of like other people say, and I don't see that as true at all. Because if I'm being real, as I've observed this planet in different cultures, I feel like everyone in the US has taken a little bit from black culture. The music, the style, oh my god, the style, the slang, the dances, some of the food, so much. Y'all have like low-key copied a lot of shit that African Americans have done. Everyone is low-key inspired by African Americans. And yeah, a lot of people are quick to say they have no culture. Yes, I get there are problems within the African American community that need to be solved. But let's be real, when y'all are inspired, let's just keep it a buck. All these people, y'all know who I'm talking about, saying the N-word constantly. Y'all want to be involved so bad. A lot of people, especially here in the US, are low-key inspired by African American culture. They just don't say it. The hoop earrings, the dress style, all that shit stems from African American culture. All people want to see is the negative part instead of the positive.
As an African woman, I'd like to say that I am so sorry to the Black Americans, because you guys have been fighting. You guys have been fighting for your lives against racism, known and unknown. People didn't want you to vote. People didn't want you to learn. People didn't want you to have a solid life. Housing, food, healthy. That's why there's so many injustices, fake processed food, chemical foods, that's now become a thing for the classes, for people who are not of old money, extreme wealth. Now it's affecting more than just the melanated people here. This is actually pure light and pure love in its rawness. Like, I see you, I hold you.
Black people and what they have done for us Africans. If it weren't for the ancestors of the African American people who paved the way, we will not be able to even come here to work. If you are African person, no matter where you come from in Africa, and you are able to come to the United States of America and have been able to find a job, find a better opportunity, it was not because you deserved it. It's not because it fell from the sky. It was because the African American ancestors paved the way for it to happen. All right, so no matter the job you have, even if it's the worst job you have so far, it is because the African American ancestors paved that way for you to be able to come here and have that opportunity, because black people were not invited to the table. It took the blood and sweat of the African American ancestors to be able to make that happen. So for that, I am very grateful for the African American community here. I mean, anywhere I go, you know, even in my place of work, it's always a vibe when I see my African people. So this narrative of, oh, these people don't like this, you know, let me tell you something. There are always going to be ignorant people in both sides of the coin, in side of the Black American people and also the African people. There's always going to be ignorant people. But for the most part, I'm just saying I love my black people, right? I love my black people here, and I don't have anything negative to say. I understand your struggle. I understand the struggle that you face here, especially in the hands of, you know, the people. You know what I mean? So this is just an appreciation to every black people. I love my black people wherever you are. If you're listening to me and you are African American, just know that I love you so much. I don't have any form of dislike for my people. How can I dislike my own people, my own skin color? So this division of this is that, no, I'm not part of that ignorance crew. So just letting everyone know that I understand history, I read history, I understand the struggle that black people have been through. So this is just an appreciation to the African American people. If not, I won't be able to even come here and find the opportunities that I have right now in America. So this is just an appreciation post.
Black Americans are too nice. Black Americans are too nice. Black Americans are too blood clot nice, bro. We don't understand this. Why I just saw a whole video of a UK person in the idea that Africans hate Black Americans because they're lazy. You know, as an individual who love history, love watching history, one of the only reasons why most of you guys are in this country is because of the things that were done by Black Americans. And the thing about that is a lot of people don't understand that type of talking, because someone is just too young, too old to want to understand anything. You can't come into another country and not want to follow these rules. Don't make any sense to me. And the reason why it don't make any sense to me is because you guys are the same individuals who don't want these people in your country and them acting like an idiot and not want to learn your religious values or your cultural values. It doesn't make any sense to me till this day.
Pan-African lifestyle.
When we created Pan-African Lifestyle, it wasn't just to make content. It was to build a movement, a multimedia company and lifestyle agency that serves as a catalyst for the African dream through content, experiences, events, and real services that empower our people to travel, invest, and relocate to the motherland with confidence. Over 500,000 of you have joined us across 4 platforms, and we reach over 15 million people every single month. Because of that, we've been able to listen, learn, and truly understand what our community needs. The message was clear. We need guidance. We need clarity. We need direction on how to do this right. So we created Africa 101, the blueprint, the foundation, the guide that has helped hundreds of thousands of people start their journey home, becoming our best-selling book and a trusted resource we are proud of. But guidance is only part of the journey. Many of our people in the diaspora and on the continent face challenges when navigating opportunities, from investment to relocation. That's why we created Due Diligence Africa, a practical guide to evaluating people, places, and opportunities so you can pursue the African dream with confidence and clarity. If you're serious about Africa, travel, investment, relocation, citizenship, or coming home, start with the Essentials in Africa 101 and then learn the red flags and best practices for navigating the motherland with Due Diligence Africa. Get your copies of Africa 101 and Due Diligence Africa at panafricanlifestyle.com.
This is a message to all my black people. How many times do we have to be shown that we need to unify and work together to really build something beautiful for ourselves? How many times do we have to be shown that what these people are putting out, like all the propaganda, all the stuff that these white people saying, like, shoot, you even got the Bible, for instance, but I don't even want to go there. How many times do we have to stop being spoon-fed some BS before we wake up and realize, oh, it's BS? Like, what? How come we can see all these other races? You got Indians, you got Chaldeans, Arabs, Chinese, Mexican. You got all these other minority communities. When we're talking about minority, but the real minority is the white people. How do we have all these examples of people that work together and build beautiful communities? You want a nice big home? A lot of their families work together to build that nice big home, and they split the cost and they do all of that good stuff. Why do we have all these examples to still sit here and be dumb saying, oh, well, I got to do it on my own? I can't help that person up because then they might take from me. And then that's another part. Why do you think you got to take from your own people? I know it's all about the environment that you raised in, but you got to be more than a product of your environment. People look up to all these Kobe's, the Shaq, the LeBron James. You look up to all these athletes and be like, oh, I want to take care of my family. I want to take care of my family. Like, let me get like that. I'm going to make sure everybody good. Why do you have to have that mindset when you get the money and you can't have it right now? Why can't you build each other up instead of waiting to try and build somebody up? Because in all reality, the only thing money does is really highlight how you are as a person right now. And if that's not the type of person you are, that's not the type of person you're going to be. And sometimes if you want to be that person where, okay, now I got it, so I'm going to just give it out, you ain't even making any smart moves with that. People get so much money and they go broke so quick because they making dumb financial decisions. As a people, we have been oppressed for way too long, spoon-fed a lot of BS, and we know it's BS. That's what's even worse. We know it's some garbage, but we still eating. I ain't even gonna say we because I ain't on that. But you still eating it, bro. Like, don't it get tired eating shit? Don't you want to throw up? We can't have all these examples of all these other communities giving us the blueprint on how to make it work and how to make it. And then we sit here and wonder like, well, why ain't nothing going right? Why is it always like this? Because, nigga, you ain't doing the work. Because you continuing to always, you're continuously taking from your own people. Because you feel like you can't let the next man be better than you. There is more than enough to go around. They make money out of thin air, bro. Thin air. And you think it's not enough. It's not enough to go around, but we got all these examples from all these other communities
on how their families are thriving, how they have stores. You got the Asians that own all like the hair supply stores. You got the Chaldeans and Arabs owning the gas stations, the liquor stores. Indians got a lot of food markets and stuff like that. And what do black people have? We have the ability to influence the culture, right? Are we only going to be the influence and not be able to provide for our influence? We influence different hairstyles. We influence different food. We influence different types of things like the liquors and all that. But we can't own the stores? Like, this don't make sense, bro. We have to do better as a people. Cause it's too evident and too obvious when you have the blueprint in your face. All these communities are doing one thing. And they're doing this one thing, what? Together. Oh my God. Am I really putting something new out here? They're doing it together, bro. And imagine if we all came together, because we got this issue with, I'm going to tell you, these white people over here thinking they superior and they are the majority. They're not. And that's the problem. They think, and they have everybody else thinking that they are. But, bro, we all came together. Now what? I think, aren't they less than 10 or 2%? You know, they are so low of a race, but so high in confidence and misinformation that we just eating it up. Nigga, how can you keep eating it up? I don't. So somebody piss in your cup and tell you it's water. I'm just expecting, from what I've seen now, that people believe it. And they gonna drink it. Not me, bro. This is ridiculous.
Every black person needs to work together because everybody else is working together against us. Okay? That is the problem. That's why we can't move ahead. That's why your bank account is not what it needs to be. Okay? And everybody else is like climbing and shitting on us and throwing eggs off the roof. And it's like we just accept it. No, like we have to stop that sucker shit. Every time a black person sees a black person, because of what we're going through, let me land the plane. Because of what we're going through, right? Like because of what and this is not separate. See, white people, so what's that DEI? That affects us. See, when an executive order is passed, that affects us, right? When martial law is passed, that affects us. So if you step outside and a white man decides and says, listen, I'm gonna and kidnap you, and there's no punishment, then you care. But you don't care when the police pull me over and shoot me to death, right? You don't care when a black man is right. So we are affected as a collective, and because we're desensitized, we separate purposely because we have no empathy for our peer group. We don't feel like every black, when we see, it should be like, yo, how can we work together to figure out something to move forward?
At the risk of perpetuating a conversation that I would like to come to an end, I think it is important to keep in mind that every black person across the diaspora has been exposed to bad media narratives about other black people in the diaspora. And that's something that we all need to keep in the back of our minds, and how those media narratives might be informing some of our ideas about other black folks around the globe.
Like, on some real shit, I don't think y'all understand what they did to our communities. We used to love each other. We used to have families. It didn't have to be like... It didn't have to be what it is now. It doesn't have to, and it's not too late to change our thinking and our ways and our understanding of what's going on. It's not too late. It's not too late to change and love each other, because at the end of the day, that's what they fear. They don't want us to have families. They don't want us to be together and connected with one another. They don't want us to love ourselves first. They don't want us to love each other. They don't want that. Why wouldn't we do that? Like, that just makes sense to me. because growing up, I saw like all of the shit that happened in my life, and I realized how much of it came from not loving each other, not having community. I had a family, and none of us loved each other. None of us loved ourselves. You have to love yourself first before you can love others. So that's the start of it. They don't want us to love us. They don't want us as black people to look at ourselves and see beauty. They don't want us to do that. They don't want us to be happy. And with that, that means that if we can't love us, we can't love each other. That means we can't build families. We can't have a community, because they know that that's the real thing. Community. Us having a community together is a real problem. That's a real issue. A bunch of niggas that love each other? Oh hell. That's gonna be some shit. That's gonna be a motherfucker. But y'all don't understand. Y'all so bitter. You so hurt. I get it. I was hurt for a long time. I was so hurt for a long time. And I had to stop. Because it was hurting me even more. It was hurting me even more. It was. Continuing to dwell in that hurt instead of healing that wound and deciding that I'm just gonna love others regardless. I'm gonna love me regardless. That helped me and it healed me. Y'all, please, you have to, I just want better. I want better for our community. I do.
A people who decide to stand together cannot be pushed back one by one. Unity turns resistance into power. Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.